Hey Flosstube, it's Amy. Welcome back to Amityville, part 6. You know how in any movie franchise, but particularly the horror movie franchises, when you get to part 6, they're kinda crappy. Not the case in the world of Jason, because Friday the 13th part 6 is one of my favorite movies of all time ever. I love that movie so hard. So hard. It doesn't take itself too seriously because at that point, come on, it can't. It can't. It's got a very Frankenstein vibe to it. I love me some Frankenstein. And it's got Horseshack from Welcome Back, Kotter. I'm aging myself very much so there. But you guys in my age range, you know who I mean. But part 6 is amazing. It's one of my comfort movies. Like, I can put that movie on and just instantly feel comfortable and just feel like I'm wrapped in a warm blanket. I love it. I have four horror movie comfort films, right? That make me feel all warm and cozy. Most people think I'm insane for the ones that do that for me, but Friday the 13th part 6, the original Amityville Horror, The Shining, and The Exorcist. All of those movies just give me such happiness. So if you gave up on Jason by part 2, 3, because he wasn't in the first one, guys, you got to give him a shot. Check out part 6 because it's amazing. Anyway, I hope everybody is well. It has been a minute and a half. I've been having a lot of what I call my rain days as of late, since Mother's Day and on. Father's Day was difficult. Just, you know, there's just new normal. Other changes that happened in my life that I'm not going to get into. If you know, you know. Yeah, so that's my absence. That's why I've been not here. I've just been dealing with life and my head and all of that. I am looking into therapy, which, you know, I've been down that road before, but I think it's sort of needed. So I'm looking into that. In the meantime, though, I am getting back into my meditation, which, you know, I meditated before. It's kind of hard to find a moment when you live in a household that's always constantly awake and around, and it's very hard to get that minute. But I've been trying to make time, you know, for my own, what's left of my sanity. Yeah, so my oils and my crystals and, you know, that whole thing, it's helping. You know, the rain days are gonna come. You know, the rain days are gonna come, and sometimes they have to, you know. I guess with rain comes cleansing, and with cleansing comes clarity, I suppose. So yeah, I am getting out more, though. I'm trying to do more things and see more people, which is very difficult for me. I'm bipolar 2, which is, I don't have the mania. I have the depression and the anxiety. So the anxiety, which a lot of it is social anxiety, I have a very hard time with peopling, you know. But I am trying to do more of that. I just went to a get-together on the 4th of July with my across-the-hall neighbors, and, you know, up until that last minute, I'm like, how can I get out of it? How can I get out of it? Because, you know, making plans, I love to make plans. It's the follow-through that's difficult. So up until the very last minute, I mean, up until we're knocking on the door, it was like, how do I get out of it? And then I went and I had a great time, you know, which, well, let's face it, most of the time that's kind of what does happen. Going to a get-together at my brother's house this coming Sunday with all of the family, so that should be a pretty good time. I'm kind of oddly looking forward to that until it's time to leave, and then it's, how do I get out of it? Sorry. But yeah, so I'm trying to work on me. You know, it's hard, but you know, I just posted something on Instagram this morning, you know, that you can't pour from an empty cup, and it's kind of true. I don't have an empty cup of coffee though, it's full, so we're doing that. Okay, that was a long way around, almost 6 minutes in of just life stuff, but I'm sure there'll be more sprinkled through because that's how I roll. So I have finishes, plural. I have it's a UFO. Come on, face it. I mean, you know, I'm putting it in the corner. To quote Letitia, I'm sending it away so we can think about what it did. But quite frankly, I did it. But it's being punished. So I have what's going to be a UFO. I have 2 FFOs. Yeah, FFO. I have some gifts. I have plans. I have news. So let's start with finishes, right? Okay. So I don't keep track of dates. I just know that I've finished these. I think I'm on I think I've had 15 finishes for the year so far. Most have been small-ish, not all. Ish. I love that. It's not a word, but it works for me. Ish. Okay, so let's go with this. Michelle at Cozy Egg and I had talked a while back about doing the primitive hair freebies for the pagan Sabbats. Okay. And you know, I have them all, and I try to work on them as close to the Sabbat as I possibly can. So I was talking to Michelle about it, and we were like, hey, you know what would be cool? Because she has some that she would like to work on as well. How about doing like an Instagram sal for, you know, the Sabbats? And we'll do it as the wheel of the year turns. So I thought, you know, hell yeah, that's a great idea. So let's see. I had already done Beltane. That had already happened. I know I had another one, I think, in there. But Letha was happening. If you've watched Andrea at Stitching Shadows videos, she's done, I think, all of these at this point, so you will have seen them. I changed the colors just to go with the colors of that particular Sabbat. These are all small, you know, because they're like ornament size, so they'll never be ornaments though. I'm saying that I have FFO'd, but I can't sew, and yeah, ornaments, no. So this is Letha. So I mean, the colors aren't really far off from what was charted. This is just DMC. Just DMC that I have in my stash. Very tiny little back stitching on the little bees, which I'm all for the tiny little back stitching. So yeah, so I actually did this on Letha. I mean, they're quick stitches, you know, I mean, it doesn't take any time at all. So I think Michelle was pretty busy with work stuff and life stuff, so she didn't really get to do that one, but it is on Instagram. If you guys ever want to, as the wheel turns, as the Sabbats happen, we just have the hashtag SabbatSal. I always then tag it with Amy and Michelle Do a Thing. So yeah, a few people joined in. That was pretty cool. You know, I know that that's not things that everybody's into. So, you know, it's there if y'all want to do it. So that was Letha. You know, Letha is the summer solstice. So that's what that is. Okay, so the other finish that I have, I started working on, I showed it in one of my previous videos. It was a gift for my daughter, Sierra. She had picked it out when she picked it out, because it was like, you know, pick out something for me to work on. And she was like, okay. And she picked it out, and she's like, well, if I pick this out, then it's for me. Okay, fair trade. So it is for her. I'm unrolling it because obviously these are not ironed at all. I should have done that, but I didn't. You guys know. You guys know wrinkles. Come on. So this is a Janlin kit. I believe the design is by Jane Netley Mayhew. It was a gift from my friend Amanda at Amanda Panda Stitching. I love her. She's awesome. And yeah, so Sierra's going to get this because it is all finished. I will scroll because, I mean, you know, it's pretty long. So we have all of the cats. And let me tell you what, there were so many colors in here. This white cat down here, he drove me, looks like Shay, drove me crazy with how many different colors were in there. But there was no back stitching on this, which was weird, you know, because I thought, well, now I have to back stitch it because it's a gift. When it's a gift, I try to at least do that. But no, it wasn't charted, and I didn't really think that it needed it. It was fine. And yeah, so all of those adorable cats. I had a good time with this one. You know, I picked this up, you know, in between like Sal stuff and all of that. I picked it up, I tinkered with it. Yeah, it took a little while longer than kits normally take me because I was working on other things in the meantime, but I had a pretty good time with that. It was pretty good. So Sierra will get that eventually. I don't know if she'll get it framed. I'm not framing it. If she wants to frame it, she can frame it. Hey, I figure she picked it out. Cool. I stitched it. I did the work. She can frame it if she wants to frame it. The next finish that I had kind of goes with the news part. If any of you guys follow me on Instagram, you already know this. I started my own group on Facebook called the Stitchers Coven. My former group, no longer associated there. So I started my own group. It's basically the same premise. The focus is a little bit more on what it was intended to be with the former group. But at any rate, in the former group, there was the Summer of Salem Sal, which I came up with. That was mine. So when my association with that group sort of became non-existent and I started my own group, I was taking that Sal with me. You know, it actually works out for people who are members of both groups, because, you know, there are members who are both groups, which is totally fine, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. My former group, you know, was created for a reason. So is my current one, and you know, it's totally fine. And so it kind of works out for people who want to be part of both groups, who want to then participate in the Sal. They get to do it in both groups. So that is the only Sal, though, that will be the same. Yeah, my brain never turns off, guys. I've been listening to a lot of Lorena McKennett lately. I have ideas. I have so many ideas. I have a notebook full of ideas. So the Sal ideas, you know, they're never ending. And Lorena McKennett, she's so visual. But yeah, so doing the Summer of Salem Sal, if you're part of the group, the Stitchers Coven, our hashtag on Instagram is TSC Summer Salem. TSC Summer Salem. Yeah, and I've been loving seeing what everybody's working on because, you know, I loved seeing this idea be so well received by so many people prior and now. So I worked on Salem Sisters 3 by Plum Street, and I'll be working on other pieces because the sale runs until the end of August. So I finished Salem Sisters 3 by Plum Street. I have to go all the way down here. I left off, there was a side border. I left off the side border because I'm going to frame it, and I just think that, you know, it was okay without the border. I did do I sort of outlined the bottom just so it stands out from the rest of the verse. But I loved this. I loved this Ada. This is 18 count vintage country mocha. It's so soft. I'm so not used to soft Ada, and I only work with Ada, so I'm used to the stuff that'll cut ya. But this was so soft. This was so nice to work with. So I went back and forth with finishing ideas, and I thought, you know, first I was going to make like kind of a wall hanging, you know, get like sort of a little rod thing and all of that, but I'm going to frame it because this piece really means a lot to me, and I am going to frame it behind glass. And yeah, that was, I love the font on there. That font is so awesome. I love that. But you know, again, there was no backstitch. And when you make a piece that's no backstitch, call me, because I'm down. But yeah, so that was my first start and finish for the Summer of Salem Sal. I'll be working on more stuff, one of which is going to coincide with another Sal by the wonderful Ava at Truly Wicked Crafts. I'm gonna say that. I know her as Ava. But I will link her below. She does have Flosstube. She's awesome. She's funny and sweet, and I love her to death. She is doing a Sal that's going to start the 13th of this month, called the Witchy Shadows Sal. I will link her Facebook group for the Sal down below. She does have a video where she talks about it. Obviously that's going to be on Friday the 13th, so I'll be working partly on that and partly on Jason, because Jason. So yeah, but that's happening. So I'll be doing another witch piece for that Sal, and then I'll do one in August. I'll be working on another witch piece. So those are my finishes. I'm going to show FFOs now. Yeah, there's two of those. I've showed the finishes. Well, I don't know if I showed this one finish since I wasn't recording. I don't know. You all have seen this one though. This is the Moon Phases by the Little Stitcher on Etsy, and I framed it. The frame came from Dollar General. I am not lying. It came from Dollar General. I originally had bought the frame for another piece, the tiger piece that I had done for Sean like 2 years ago, and it wasn't big enough, but it was perfect for this one. I still have some other ideas that I want to do to it, but for now it's in a frame. It's in a frame, McKenna. It's in a frame. And I couldn't get this is ironed. I couldn't get some of those things out, but you know, I stretched this thing, but still. But whatever, it's handmade, it's on my wall. I get to look at it. And I love it. There's still that's the full moon phase. I still have the new moon phase to do. So hopefully Dollar General still has this frame. If not, I'll get one as close to it as possible and frame them together in a little cluster. So yeah, that's an FFO. And the other one was, this was also for the Summer of Salem, I believe. It was a small, took no time at all. This is by the Witchy Stitch Art on Etsy. Megan, this is one of her designs. This is As Above, So Below. It's stitched in Victorian Motto sampler shop threads. I can't remember which one I used. I can't remember, but it's variegated, and you can see the variegation in that. It's beautiful. As I was stitching with it, I didn't know how that was going to work on the black, and I think it came out beautiful. So I just finished it in a hoop because circle, and yeah. So that's it. That's As Above, So Below by Witchy Stitch Art on Etsy. I'll link her shop below. You guys know her by now. She makes some of the coolest stuff ever. It's all totally up my alley. Obviously, I've stitched a lot of her designs because they're just that damn good. Okay, so here's my sad, pathetic UFO, because now I'm looking at it and it's punished. It's just punished. It's Teresa Wensler, right? Okay, and I told you all I was terrified, right? I don't know what I was terrified about because it's not like it's hard. It's a lot of blended threads. If you've heard anyone say Teresa Wensler is like queen of the blends, listen to them, because wow, I thought Dimensions kits had a lot of blends. She uses a lot of blends, but this is called Above the Clouds, and it's this wonderful, amazing dragon, and I love it. And I thought, you know what, it's really not all that big. I mean, it says in miniature, right? It's not all that big. This shouldn't be that difficult. It's a UFO now. But again, it was my mistake. But I'm blaming this. I'm blaming the dragon. This is how far I've gotten on it. Okay? And you're thinking, right, well, Amy, really? No, somewhere I miscounted in 2 different spots. And I can't figure out where. Isn't that sad? Like, you know, you go back and you're like, okay, I miscounted. It's not all that. I can't find it. I cannot find where so yeah, I could fudge it, and that's probably what I'll do. It's not going to stay a UFO forever. When I don't have as much on my plate, I might go back and mess with him and see what I can do to fix it. But for now, he's a UFO. So she hasn't defeated me. I'm not going to let her defeat me. But I need a minute from her. Whew, she blends. So many colors. And it's on 18 count Aida. And frogging on 18 count Aida is no fun. Particularly blends. It's a UFO for now. Okay, so what am I working on now? Okay, this is on the Q-snap. It's not coming off the Q-snap. It's a little crooked on the Q-snap. Hey, sorry. I can make all the apologies that I want, but y'all are stitchers and y'all know. So I was watching Jessie Marie because I love Jessie Marie, and I always watch Jessie Marie. And she was talking about Heaven and Earth designs, and that they were doing a, well, Heaven and Earth isn't doing it, but there was a group on Facebook that was doing the 100-day Haid challenge, where you have to put in at least one stitch on your Haid every day for 100 days. And I thought, I have a Haid. I was going to save it for something else. It's a mini, though even in Haid speak, mini doesn't mean mini. So again, intimidation sets in, and I'm like, oh, but I love it. It's got beautiful colors and I want to do it. And okay. So when this challenge came up, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I joined the group and did the things, got out my Haid, and started it. I love it. I love it. Right now, it's all the 310. That's all that's in it. It's just 310. There are something like 16 skeins of 310 that go in this. It's a lot of 310. All the 310. Hashtag all the 310. So the Haid that I'm working on is the Witches of Brennus by Lisa Parker. So, you know, technically this could go into the Summer of Salem. I'm not adding it to the Summer of Salem, but I love this so much. This was a gift from my old friend Jennifer. But I mean, it's a gorgeous piece, and of course, when you look at it, you're already thinking all the 310. Yeah, again, not a lie. So it's on the Q-snap. I'm not taking it off of the Q-snap. It's crooked on the Q-snap. Sorry. So this is what I have of it so far. This is the thread in the back. It's attached to the needle minder in the back, so that's why you see it. It's not going to be there. This is my Edgar Allan Poe needle minder because Poe. So yeah, this is, you know, the curtain on the side, and then this is the beginning of the window. I worked my way over because I wanted to work on the window because I love that, the pentacle that's in the middle. I love that so much. So I wanted to get to that. I love it. I love working on this. I have found, though, that I need a grime guard because this is the biggest Q-snap I have. I don't have Millennium frames or anything like that. And there's a lot of fabric, which I have clipped with binder clips because that's how I roll. I need a grime guard because reaching around this thing, this is the stiff Ada. This will cut you. This will cut you. So I kind of have it rolled up as much as possible and trying to work on that. This part, when I'm doing this part, I actually work on it upside down so that I don't have all this bulk touching me. So that's where I am thus far on that. And I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. It will not be my only Haid. I can tell you that now. It will not be my only Haid because I love it. I loved, you're thinking with all that 310 as you're stitching it, you're like, this is never going to look like anything. It's just going to look like big black blobs happening. But when you start seeing it happen, when you start see the shapes taking form, you just want to keep going because you're like, I want to see how this comes out. I got to see it. Obviously I'm a cross-country stitcher anyway, so I usually take, I mean, that's page 1 and 2 along the top. So I'm just trying to get as much black down as possible But I love it. I love it so freaking much. I love it. So if you have to live under a rock if you haven't heard about the 100 Days of Hate. So I will try to link that group down below as well. I know there's a hashtag for that on Instagram as well, so if you're not on Facebook, you can still join in. Seeing the pieces, I don't think I've seen a piece of artwork that Hate has charted that isn't beautiful and amazing. And each one that people are posting, I'm like, I want to do that one. I want to do that one. I don't have that kind of time, y'all. I don't have that kind of time. I mean, I have nothing but time, but I don't have Hate time. I don't have Hate time. That's a mini. And it's like, this is immense. You guys who do the full-size Hades, wow. I mean, I love them. I would collect them all. I would collect them all. Not necessarily stitch them all. Okay, so gifts. Gifts are happening. A while back, my friend Laura contacted me and said, you know, hey, I made this thing, I want to send it to you. Okay, you don't have to make anything for me, but cool. But I think she made one for herself, and then she made one for me because she's very sweet like that. And it's right up my dark and creepy alley because it just is. This is Norman Bates. This is that look at the end, you know. A boy's best friend is his mother, you know. Look at him. Look at him. Anthony Perkins. He really was just adorable. But Norman Bates, Needleminder, I love him. I love him. So thank you, Laura. That was so extremely sweet of you. He hangs up there with Pennywise and Jason because that's his tribe. My friend Mandy went to Cornwall, England, to the, hold on, it's written on the back of here, the Museum of Witchcraft and Magic. So already I'm jealous as hell, right? She went there and she picked up some things for me, which, you know, wow. She was on, like, you know, her own vacation, and she's like, let me pick this up for Amy. So she sent me this beautiful, beautiful stuff. I will show. The first thing is this magnet. I mean, yeah. So this isn't on the fridge. This sits next to my stitchy spot so I can look at it. I love this. I love this. It's a hell of a magnet. I'm going to stick it to this table right now. So she sent me that. And then she sent me this amazing needle minder. This is from No More Lost Needles. Lisa. Her needle minders are awesome. Her information is on this card. This needle minder says, I'm a real witch before, during, and after my coffee. Two of my things right there. Witch, coffee. So, how adorable is that? There's Lisa's information. Yeah, I mean, this is a big old magnet. It's a big old magnet. And I love this. I love it. And it's me. It's me. So there was that. So then she sent me this sticker. Right. I'm not going to stick it on anything. I'm just going to leave it like this because I don't have a car. I guess it's supposed to go on a car. I don't have a car. So, if I ever get one of those, like, bobbin boxes, I might put it on there. But, you know, how adorable is she? And then she got me these two postcards here. Because, yeah. I love these so much. I really do. So, yay. And then this gorgeous piece of artwork that I cannot pronounce this man's last name. I will turn it around to show you because he does have a website, but this artwork is amazing. I mean, really. Everything about this is spectacular. Everything. And here is the information of the artist's name and the name of the piece. I believe that Mandy met the artist while she was there. I haven't checked out his website because I'm just going to want it all. I know this. But this piece is Blackthorn, and how amazingly beautiful is this? I mean, this is going in a frame. Let's face it. It has to. It's true artwork. It's gorgeous. So, thank you, Mandy, for thinking of me. That was so sweet while you were on your vacation seeing witchy and magical things, and you thought of me, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. You know this. I've told you. So then, my other friend, Lisa, the Silver Stitcher, she had contacted me and had asked for my address. Okay, cool. I love her. She can have my address. If she wanted to come with the stuff, she could have, because that would have been cool. We could have sat down, had a cup of coffee, got into mischief. So she included a card. I didn't bring the card over. But inside of the package were these adorable knitted, you know, cloths. And she did these herself. I mean, I am in awe of anybody who can knit, because I want to learn how to knit, but I don't know if my patience level is there yet. But these are amazing. She sent me 2 of them. I'm using one currently, and y'all don't want to see that. But I use these for my face. They're so good, and they're so soft, and they're so well made, and I love the colors in this, and I am jealous of the knitting ways, because wow. But yeah, so she sent me 2 of these, which, Lisa, they are amazing, and they can be washed and dried and the whole deal. So yay. And then she had written in the card that she had sent me some of these flosses. I believe these are some of DMC's new flosses, and most of which are purple, because purple girl. And obviously I have not used them yet. I wanted to show them first before I got into all of the using that's going to happen. But I mean, the purples, come on guys, the purples. So good, so good. So those were in the package, and the last thing that was in the package was, which is what made the package kind of heavy, and I thought, what in the world? So when I opened it, I read the cards first. I always do. And I read the card and I thought, what is she talking about? Because she said Jack, and I thought, what are you talking about? And Jack Skellington was in the box, and it's coffee mug, because, you know, coffee, that goes without saying. And it's Jack freaking Skellington. I love A Nightmare Before Christmas. I love him. I believe that my inner person is a mix between Sally, Zero, and Jack. I love this so much. I have not drank out of it yet so that I could keep it clean, so that I could show all y'all. Coffee will be going into this now because I have shown all y'all. But, I mean, it's Jack Skellington, and I adore him, and I adore Lisa, and I told you before, you didn't have to do that, and as you said, if you did have to do it, you wouldn't do it, so there's that. So, yes, that was my gifts. So thank you, Laura and Mandy and Lisa. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else to discuss. There, like I said, the Summer of Salem Sal in the Stitchers Coven is happening. It's running the same time that the Sal in my former group is running. So, you know, that's going until the end of August, and then I'll announce the new Sal coming up. Probably by the beginning of August, I'll mention what the new Sal is going to be, so I'm pretty excited about that. The Witchy Shadow Sal that's happening, that Ava is doing, I will link all of that information down below, as well as Ava's channel, because she does discuss it in detail that you need if you want to be in the Sal. Yeah, so that's going to happen. My traditional Friday the 13th stitching will happen. Then I have another Jason piece that I will be working on because it's his birthday, and that's what you do on his birthday. That's going to happen. Yeah, so is there anything else coming up? I mean, there's the Haid thing that's happening. I mean, 1 stitch a day for 100 days. You can do that, right? I mean, I know sometimes just getting in 1 stitch is a job for you guys who have families and jobs and life, and yeah, I know that even 1 stitch a day can be hectic. But, you know, if you have the Haid and you want to do it and it's 1 stitch a day, and yeah, I mean, obviously once I put 1 stitch in it, I couldn't stop. Clearly. And when I'm done recording this, I'm going to stitch on it some more. So, that was part 6, you guys. That was part 6. It's happening. Oh, and my shirt is Bela Lugosi from Dracula. I love him. Well, y'all know I love Dracula. I love Dracula, but this is Bela Lugosi, and I have a cat named Bela. Bela Lou is her name. The place where I got this shirt from is amazing as well. Not affiliated with them at all. Whatever. I'm not getting any kind of kickbacks. But if you're into horror and you like all of that kind of stuff, whether it's classic horror or modern horror, you should check them out. They're called Fright Rags. I will link them down below as well. They run a gamut of sizes. They also have, I think, lounge pants and socks and enamel pins and the whole deal. So that's exciting. I have another one that I'm ordering very soon, because they just put out a Jaws line, guys. They just put out a Jaws line. Jaws, the one shirt says Amity. I'm sure it says Amity Island on it, but it says Amity. You know my love for my cat. That's where she got her name. People think she got her name from Amityville. No, she got it from Amity Island and Jaws, and the Amityville thing is just a bonus. It's just a bonus. So, yeah, I will link them. They have very high quality stuff. I got this shirt a while back. I wear it constantly. It's been washed so many freaking times at this point. It has not faded. The colors are still good. It's not that, It's not like it's a decal or anything. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. I will link them. So, okay, well, that is it. I will try to check in with you guys soon-ish, because we go with ish around here. Yeah, so if you have any questions or anything like that, get with me. If you want to know anything more about the Summer of Salem sale that's happening with the Stitchers Coven, I can't answer as far as what's going on in my former group, but I can answer the questions about what's happening in mine. So there's also an Instagram page for my group, which is just the Stitchers Coven. Follow us there, we'll follow you back. We post work of, I say we, it's me. It's me. It's just me that runs this. It's just me. That's the way I need it. So yeah, so if you have a finish for the Summer of Salem or any of your finishes, get with me. I will so more than happily post it on our Instagram. I will tag you in it. You know, list the name of the pattern and the designer, you know, all the other info that comes with it, you know, fabric and floss and the whole deal. I will be more than happy to show it, because we have such talented people, not just in the group, but in the community in general. And I think that everybody should be recognized for what they do. I think everybody should be recognized in general. You should be recognized just for being a decent human being, you know, because not everybody is a decent human being. So I like to recognize those who are. So yeah, guys, I will try to check back in ish. So watch Friday the 13th part 6. Come check out the Stitchers Coven, Facebook, Instagram. Most of you guys follow me on Instagram already. If you don't, it's the same name as here. Yeah, and I'm gonna drink my coffee. I'm gonna fire up my Jack Skellington mug because he's adorable, and put all this stuff away and kick ass on my head. So anyway, till next time, guys, blessed be, love and light. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.